Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Some Kind of Wizard, and we're back. It's time for another ATOD game. It's the continuing Reverse Captain's Best of 3 show match. And the bans are already underway. Very quickly, Sniper and Meepo are decided on straight away. Although we weren't playing officially 2 ATOD rules last game, we decided to do so because... But this is actually a regame. The enemy team got a full team of Aggies, and apparently Team Oddities hadn't been aware that it was playing by ATOD rules.
Dire team pick.
But okay then, Spectre is the first pick out, and Josh is going to be very annoyed with that because they managed to hand over the Spectre previously, and that's something worth kicking yourself for. This regame could be very, very messy. And they're going to be thinking very hard about which heroes to give to their enemy team. I would say that as far as picks were concerned, it was going to look like, again, another very strong team for Bacon of Strife's setup. They actually had CC. That's how I would put it, at least. The decision seems overall to be give your enemy all of the boring farming heroes. Truant is handed back over to Team Oddities again. Last time he was banned straight away, and Warlock is the next one! Oh no! Josh is going to be rubbing his palms with glee. He'd been waiting to get rid of him all game. In the previous one, he was banned. Now we wonder, where's the next step going to be? It's going to be another 2 picks. Sorry, me. By Team Oddities. So far, we've already got Spectre, who is one of those sort of, long game farming carries. If they pick another long game farming carry or 2, then this could be a tough position. Undying is the next pick.
Radiant team pick. Reserve time.
It's tough to say. Undying I actually quite like. He's a very strong guy. People don't seem to realise that if you're using his strength to leech a lot, then you'll be in a strong position. Ricky is the next pick.
Dire team pick.
They're going to be really irritated with that one. They'd actually managed to pawn off Ricky for the previous one, prior to the regame at least. Ricky isn't a bad hero. He honestly isn't, but in this situation I'm not sure how it will work out. That Silence Cloud could ruin a lot of team fights, especially if Oddities have got a very limited number of actual CC spells. Gyrocopter is picked again. Oh no. Looks like it's going to be a tough matchup. And by this point already, the Morphling gets banned out this time. They don't want to play with a Morphling or a Visage. I was going to say, sorry. Yes, we're actually now playing these officially by ATOD show match rules. Although I mentioned them in the previous game's ban picking phase, I'll mention it again. Basically, you must have at least 1 ranged, at least 1 strength, at least 1 int, and at least 1 agi. Witch Doctor is the next ban. I don't know about that decision. Really, they kind of want stuns quite badly. As many stuns as they can get, because it will help them win this game. Banning out someone with the potential to land stuns and Malediction being worth a lot of damage, I'm really not sure about Witch Doctor being a legitimate choice. Well, that might just be because I believe Josh is currently cursed with an inability to win any game with Witch Doctor, and Nature's Prophet is banned out. Interesting choice. I suppose they don't want to be stuck with, again, another long farming hero, but to be honest, that would have given them a legitimate jungle choice. It's hard to say. As far as the actual picks, I'm finding it hard to figure out who's going to go where. Let's think here. Lone Druid is banned out this time. That's a good choice. You don't want to have anyone who can micro on your team, heaven forbid. We're going to sit here and wait patiently. Another banner is going to be coming through, and he's going to be thinking carefully, and he picks Venomancer. Don't know why he'd do that, because Venomancer proved incredibly strong in the previous game. It's really interesting looking at these bans and picks, and Pugner is banned out again. They don't want to play as a Pugner, let's face it. And now it is Team Oddities with the next pick. I wonder who they're going to give over. Right now there's... Oh, Chen? That's interesting. I believe it's because there's no one on that team who is a Chen player at all. I believe that's the case at least. If they'd given it over to the Oddities team, Chen would have been a great pick because Vex is an incredible Chen player. But it's true, in that team he does not fit. And he's ranged, so I believe they'll probably give Team Dire another melee. Viper is picked.
Radiant team
It's an interesting
pick.
option, really. I personally think Viper is really quite strong and he'll be able to harass people quite well. Although these guys are a lot tankier, so that could very well be the choice. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, Team Oddities right there has a lot of potential for damage early on. And Team Dire is stuck with a lot of late game. A lot of late game. And Warlock is a legitimate stun at the end of the day. Regardless of the fact that he's overall a terrible... Oh, Enchantress is the next pick. No, they are not going to be pleased with that. That is 2 champions who'll be using the jungle pick method. I don't want to say anything is over, but that is going to be a really tough one for them to deal with. Oh my. I'm wondering how the Dire team are going to deal with this one. They need to pick one more, and then this game begins. Can you think of anyone out there who is just that awful that they can give them a chance?
5 seconds remaining.
It comes down to plays as well.
Reserve
I mean,
time.
you can make up for having an awful, awful team by playing better. Let's face it. But can Team Bacon of Strife pull out another clutch set of plays? Continue to wait it out. Although, also, you can't smell it, but there's food in this room and it's really taunting me. I could do with more eating. Continuing to wait it out. They're using up a lot of their reserve time now. Admittedly, they still had plenty of it to spare, so they've got time. They're just trying to think who is the worst possible option, and they're probably just throwing it back and forth. Is this guy bad? No, he could combine with Viper, for instance, to perform a gank, you know. That discussion's going to be bouncing back and forth as the reserve time continues to get eaten up. And they pick Razor! Oh, that is tough. That's an interesting selection. Looks like we're going to have Noximus on the Enchantress, Bacon of Strife on the Shen, we've got Ronith as the Riki, we've got Condorian as the Undying, and Uniform as the Spectre. And Team Oddities, again, they're going to be last to pick and spread out their choice heroes. It looks like it's going to be Vex on the Viper. Continuing to wait. X Thomas is going to be the Treant Protector, we've got Corbenic, or Abendis, as Warlock. And that just leaves Gyrocopter and Razor. And it looks like Razor's going to be going to Moha, or Aeliana, and it looks like Hin will be taking the role of Gyrocopter, and yes, that's correct. Curry goes up first. So again, just a quick recount. Razor Aeliana, X Thomas Treant, Gyrocopter Hin, Vex Viper, Warlock Abendis, Uniform Spectre, Ronith Riki, Bacon of Strife, Shen, Noximus Enchantress, and Condorian Undying, and I'm wondering what setups they're going to go with. It looks like Bacon of Strife is going to be going for a primarily support role. Maybe he's going to try and dominate the jungle. Enchantress is in a bad position. They can't play a jungle. And in fact, I know for a fact that this player has no Enchantress experience. Oh, I'm sure they really teased. I love the smack talk, really. Let's really take in on that Enchantress. Yeah, I'm actually aware that Vex is a Viper player.
30 seconds to battle.
That's... You guys are all happy. Shameless advertisement names. Yes, that's X Thomas. You should, look at his stuff on YouTube. He's doing Let's Players. And Let's Play accessories. He doesn't do Let's Play accessories. It's like Gyrocopter is watching for that top rune. There you go, look, everyone's happy.
The battle begins for good.
It looks like Noximus and Ronith are looking to try and do some early damage. It's hard to say. Although Noximus might not be aware that if you're looking at the camp, it won't spawn. This is just the level of players that we're dealing with here. Okay, it looks like the early double damage rune goes to the Gyrocopter, and it's going to be some scary, scary harass there. It's hard to say how these lanes are going to play out. As far as harassment, a Viper is going to be in a really, really advantageous position as far as, harassment is concerned. And Spectre lands that dagger, it goes on, travels out loose. And Warlock is going to meander about, leading black paths wherever he may please. Again, this is going to be a very, very tough position for the Spectre, especially considering the Uniform is such a new player. And down here on the bottom, it looks like Enchantress has taken an early Centaur Khan, and that is a great choice. And Gyrocopter's moving in to try and get a gank, but he's probably going to get turned away. Did he scout for any missing... He did not scout for any missing jungle creeps. In fact, where was the Centaur taken from? That's hard to say. Did it already respawn? It must have, and I wasn't paying attention. And so now they're going to be moving around out here. That Centaur needs to move out a lot further and just be an aggressive force. And there goes the stun. The damage lands out, and Ronith is going to do some harassment as well. And he lands a couple of hits. He backs out quickly, and Razor's Plasma Ring does not quite reach. That would have been a lot of early damage. Spectre is continuing to get pushed back to the tower, and it's going to be a lot of harassment. They're going to be really hoping that that Shen can, you know, save him. It's hard to say, and on he continues. Is he going to be taking out this fight? Yep, he takes out the Holy Persuasion straight away. Let's have a look. It looks like that Centaur Khan is about to use up the last of his life, and he hasn't wasted it, which is kind of a shame. He's got one more stomp left to go. He might as well spend it, but it's too late, and they continue on. Let's have a look here at the actual creep farming and see how everyone's looking. Right now, it's going the way of the Radiant side, and to be honest, I'm not surprised. They've got a huge advantage. Spectre is having a terrible time getting any last hits, but to be honest, so is Warlock. But Warlock's job right now is not to get a single last hit. Undying throws down an illusion rune and continues on his way, his merry, merry way. And Noximus lays claim to another Ursa. It looks like Ronith is alone here to try and get some fun. It's not going to have much luck. Again, these groups have a huge amount of poke, and it's going to be quite dangerous for them. And Undying Clone just presses into the lane to do, I presume, nothing. Again, let's have a look here at the Spectre. Spectre has apparently taken some damage at some point. That Fatal Bonds is relatively annoying when you throw it down on into an entire creep wave and then deal damage to it. You actually do start to suffer quite a bit. But overall, I find that Warlock is a relatively poor choice for just about everything. But that Viper's poke is going to be the real teller of the story. And Shen moves in. Is he going to provide any assistance? I don't think he's in a position to do so. And Uniform, he goes in and he messes up that creep wave pool just quite a bit. And he's going to take a lot of damage, in fact. He will be wishing that he did not do that. He's looking to use a potion, but it's too late. And the top tower is already getting harassed. Down in the bottom lane, we can see that Ronith and Noximus are trying desperately to deal some more damage. But that Ursa Warrior goes down soon, and he fails to get the snap off in time. And Ronith moves in deep to try and hit that Plasma Ring. The Static Link's on top of him, and the silence goes out, but his damage has been sapped and sapped. Trina's going to land a hit, and Razor gets the first hit, and Aliana takes the first blood. Noximus tries desperately to try and get a follow-up kill, but has to back out. And Gyrocopter takes a kill on Undying as well. Apparently I just missed that. It looks like a complete role reversal, and Team Oddities is in a great position over Team Josh or Team Dire. Shen will be trying now to get a creep that he can use, and he'll be having no luck here. I don't see anyone big. In fact, he's probably going to go for the Centaur Khan.
Dire's middle tower is all alone in the world.
He's sitting at the Ring of Basilius now. Spectre again is still having a terrible time trying to get any farms, sitting at 4-0. The Viper is the highest farmed character on the entire screen.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's going to spell some serious trouble for them. To be honest, that short snap damage potential that has been handed over to Team Oddities is going to really, really inconvenience the Radiants. The Dire even. It looks like Condoran is moving in to try and do some damage, but there's a Gyrocopter right behind him and scouting everything out. Trient moves in position to try and assist. And here comes Ronith, and he's throwing down the Silence Cloud on the Razor, but it's going to be completely out of position. Can Gyrocopter do anything? He throws down the burst of damage, he does everything he can. The Soul Rip from the Undying is going to heal him for as long as he possibly can, but the Viper turns up to help as well. He's going to fall, and so does the Enchantress, and Ronith too is being chased. He throws down the Cloud, and it's not enough. He too falls. And that's an instant triple kill there for the Radiant team. Razor's probably going to have to back off now and head back home.
The Dire's top tower is doing its best, but it doesn't look good.
Spectre 2 is now after heading back to base returning, taking a
lot
of harassment quite often, and it looks like they want to try and do something. That Centaur Khan is moving out to try and get a stun now on the Warlock, perhaps. Spectre throws out the Spectral Dagger, and the Centaur Khan moves in. Is it going to be able to get there in time to stun? It moves in close. Is it going to get in position, though? It does not. It just lands an auto attack. It's hard to say if that'll reach. The Shen chases and Spectre makes the move in. Is there going to be a dagger follow-up? There isn't. The Centaur Khan did not have enough mana to provide a stomp. And it's not going to be enough. And with that, Shen has to back out. Viper returns to his lane to continue farming. In fact, now if the Viper chose, I believe that he could take a fight off of that Spectre, and that's going to be really quite dangerous. And Spectre decides he wants to take that fight. They start to exchange hits, but Viper throws out the ulti and really reduces the attack speed of the Spectre, and he's going to have to back up before it's too late. Shen moves in to try and get an assistance, and he's going to cast some spells. Presumably he's going to cast some spells. But now he's taking damage from the Viper. Is he going to be able to deal enough? He uses his randomized damage buff, and it's not quite enough. The Spectre moves in and gets the last auto attack just in time. An excellent job. It was an incredibly well-timed save there from our Spectre. And to be honest, right now he needs to try and get some farm and use up his potion, but he's going to return to base instead and possibly TP. No, can't TP. He's going to run all the way back again. That's a very inefficient waste of time. Enchantress 2 is being hard pressed in this lane. It's just a terrible story now for all of the dire side. The fact that they could take a kill back is really convenient for them. They need to knock that Viper down nice and early. But I just don't see how they can take a lane. This Razor play is... It's really good, and he'll be able to completely deny all of that attack damage. I'm not sure that it was a good choice to pick him out. Plasma Ring is a good short early burst, and Enchantress is just a poor choice. There's no other way to put it. It looks like he's going to go for another Centaur Khan. Again, now that's a fresh 2 stuns. If they use them correctly, they can deal a decent gank. If Undying moves in to lend some assistance, they could have the kills that they need. But Gyrocopter looks like he's moving in to lend some assistance. In fact, could Gyrocopter get caught out right now? It's hard to say. He's moving around. He's moving in through the forest. I wish I could ping and warn him. I really do.
Nature attend us.
And there's the Enchantress. The Gyrocopter's right there. The Centaur Khan needs to stun right now, and he does. Undying moves in as quickly as he possibly can. Does he land a heal in time? He does not need to. The Enchantress is healing quite fast, in fact, and Gyrocopter runs as fast as he possibly can. But that Undying is not going to be quick enough. It looks like Razor wants to make a fight out of this. He lands a static link down on the Enchantress and moves in close with the ulti up. How much damage is he going to take before it's too late? The Enchantress is going down. There's too much damage. Ronith moves in to lend some assistance. Undying lands a soul rip damage. The Cloud is going to push out the Gyrocopter and the Treant from lending any assistance. That's not a terrible trade. Apparently on the top lane, while I was looking at all that, the Viper went down too, and it was probably down to a net combination from the Dark Troll Warlord. Warlock moves in now, and he's just going to try and scope up some farm, but he'll probably have quite a hard time with it. I want to point out now that Spectre is still sitting at just 4 last hits. It's not a good situation to be in. Looks like Shen is going to be trying to back away as fast as he possibly can. He has his ulti up if he needs to emergency heal, and Spectre is here to lend some assistance. The Dark Troll Warlord moves in and lands a net. And Spectre retreats to the tower. It looks like Chen is going to take some more aggression again, but that Viper is taking a bunch of creep damage. Is it going to be enough, though? Spectre moves in to land some harassment, but it's not going to be enough. But Undying is here to assist as well. But I'm not sure where it's going to go from here, and I believe they're all going to have to back up. Viper does, in fact, move out. Treant's heal. Slow regeneration, admittedly, but regeneration nonetheless is sat upon him. Again at the bottom here, I'm losing track eventually of what's going on. Along the bottom here, we see that Razor has been able to harass the Enchantress and Riki combination quite well, although Riki is now permanently invisible. There could be some chances for a gank. He doesn't seem to want to move out of his lane. Shen throws down the ulti heal, and is it going to be enough to save him from the Viper? It is not. And in fact, that Viper with the haste rune there is going to be worth a lot of damage, and in fact may get a kill too on the follow-up with Shen. Spectre uses his ulti to try and pop in, but it's not going to be enough. Gyrocopter goes into chase fire, and the rocket chases as well. Is it going to be able to take down the Shen, however, or is the Gyrocopter fast enough? It's very, very possible, and the heal has already been spent. The stun is going to land at this rate. If it has enough range on it, the Gyrocopter will be able to follow up with an attack. And that lands. Is it going to be enough? The Gyrocopter's ulti lands, and it falls. It hits the Shen. And just had no hope to get away from that. Down here on the bottom, we see that Enchantress and Riki are still trying to deal with this Treant, this Razor combo. And are they going to actually try and do some damage now? It seems like a hard choice. Are they going to be able to move in? No. Rona throws down the Slowing Cloud, but he's caught by the Treant ulti. He takes a few hits for his troubles, and the static link is going to drain a little bit of attack damage away from him. The Undying teleports in to see if he can do something, and he throws down a Decay to chase in deep. On the middle lane, though, I just missed it, and Spectre was pwned by a Gyrocopter Viper double gank. Down there on the bottom, we see another Soul Rip going out from the Undying, but there's no one else nearby to have more damage. Regeneration that goes down from Tree and Protector is going to be enough to help. He's gone for the Living Armor build, which I'm actually quite a big fan of. It just provides that continuous regeneration. And again, you saw it last game, but it also goes onto towers and slowly heals those as well. If you get hit a number of times though with the Living Armor on you, then that Living Armor disappears, regardless of how long it's been regenerating you. But it's no ability to shake a stick at. An Undying saps a bunch of strength, seeing at 3 bonus stacks now and 87 damage per auto attack. And is the Ricky able to do anything? It does not appear so. Teleport goes into the bottom and looks like Gyrocopter is going to be there to assist. He throws down the stun on Undying and it's going to be a very tough situation right now. Is he going to let the rocket hit, however? Is he aware that he's being rocketed, in fact? He possibly isn't. And now he is. The Ricky's going to try and hit it, but it's too late, and Undying takes the hit. And here we see that the Enchantress is left completely unmolested by the Gyrocopter to freely farm inside their own jungle. I'm actually quite amazed. I did not expect Enchantress to get any kind of jungling opportunities against this lane combination.
Only a matter of time.
But they've been able to successfully jungle both sides. But Viper gets a kill on the Spectre. Oh. That's just a sad day there. Again, this Viper is in a strong position where he has huge early damage, and the enemy team has no way to shut him down. The reason you don't see Viper in like pro game picks is that it's very easy to stop Viper. He's squishy compared to the damage that he deals out, and his damage does at the end of the game, it starts to drop off. It's not quite as high as other types of ranged carries. But they're up against a team combination that can't shut down Viper at all. They don't have a stun. Not a single stun on that team. Not one. Viper is going to be able to freely hit for an entire team fight's duration. And here we see the Shen moving around. He's got a decent couple of creeps now. He's got the Centaur Khan, which is a reasonable stun. He's got the Wildkin Warchief, which... Oh no, it appears that... Oh, just missed another kill, of course. It appears that Gyrocopter takes down the Enchantress now, finally, after trying to move in. And the Undying falls as well. A triple kill for Gyrocopter. Apparently, Uniform would describe his hero as being something between shit and wank, and Viper takes a kill again. Shen falls down. A combination of the Warlock ulti and Viper's auto attacks are going to be enough to take them. It's currently 16 for 3. It's a bad situation to be in. Viper takes some harassment damage, but the Warlock is tanking the tower.
Dire's middle tower is all alone in the world, being attacked.
I'll mention that some of these guys are League players. That's just how they have to roll.
Dire's
Spectre again tries to get some kind of farm up.
Dire's bottom tower
just losing last hits, left, right, and center.
Dire's middle tower
do I want to join in this discussion? No, I think I'll let it set. Reneth again goes into move on Razor, but at this point he's really quite tanky with the living armor as well. The Ricky's not going to have any kind of position. I'm still watching and waiting. Is there anything that's going to occur on this middle lane? Undying is just mostly playing it safe by this point. And again, that Ricky is moving in with the Enchantress to see if they can do any kind of damage, but it's not going to be enough. In fact, is there vision on the field now? There is not. It was just a random plasma ring, and it scares off that Ricky. He's going to be assuming that there's some kind of ward somewhere. And Gyro takes a kill on Undying. It's a triple gank again. They're in a strong position. I can't see this turning around very easily. There isn't the same late game application, the chance of a late game application that Team Rob of the previous match had. I mean, it's a reverse captain's mode. It's a really awful team against a really awful team. Just that Team Oddity seems to be stuck with the less awful champions this time around. Just gonna take a drink because I'm losing my voice again.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Ah, that's the stuff.
About time.
Looks like Gyrocopter is going to be combining with Viper. Oh no, that's a lot of damage already. It's 83 plus 30 and a 28 damage dot, 40% attack and move slow with the poison attack. It's going to be really hard to deal with this Viper. Seeing it as Shadow Blade quite comfortably. Undying throws out a Rot or Decay even. There's nothing he can do to follow up, and there's a deep ward now in that jungle. And they're going to call GG, going for the next. And so with that, the game is already over. There we have it. So with that, we'll be bringing you a third game. Who'd have thunk it?
Dire's middle tower
It's
is
all
under
to play
attack.
for, really, because
no
that's just how
arms to
reverse
defend
captain
itself.
mode rolls.